Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a nostalgic trip down memory lane to explore 20 things that were incredibly popular in the 60s in the USA, but have since faded into history. Get ready for a whirlwind tour through forgotten fads, classic gadgets, and cultural phenomena that once captured the hearts and minds of millions. It's incredible to see how much has changed since the 60s. Tupperware, a brand known for its airtight plastic storage containers, became a household name largely through these in-home sales events. Earl Tupper, the inventor of Tupperware, created the first product in 1946. However, the innovative containers struggled to sell in stores because consumers didn't understand how to use the patented burping seal. Brownie Wise, a charismatic saleswoman, joined Tupperware in the early 50s. Wise revolutionized the company's sales strategy by introducing the party plan. She realized that the best way to sell Tupperware was through demonstrations in a home setting, where potential buyers could see the products in action. A Tupperware consultant would host a party at her home or a friend's home, showcasing the products through demonstrations. Guests could see firsthand how the containers worked, how they kept food fresh, and how they were superior to other storage options available at the time. These demonstrations often included tips and tricks for using Tupperware, making the parties both educational and entertaining. In the 60s, many women were homemakers, and these parties provided a much-needed social outlet. Women could gather, chat, and enjoy refreshments while learning about new products. The hostess of the party would often receive free Tupperware items as a thank you for hosting, adding an extra incentive to participate. In the 60s, milk delivery was a common sight in neighborhoods across the United States. One of the well-known brands at the time was Borden Dairy, which became famous for its quality milk and products. Another popular brand was Sealtest Dairy. These companies, along with many local dairies, provided fresh milk, butter, cream, and other dairy products. The milkman would leave glass bottles of milk in a metal box outside the door, which helped keep the milk cool. Empty bottles were placed back in the box to be collected and reused, making it an early example of recycling. Customers typically had a standing order, but they could leave notes for the milkman if they needed to make changes. During the 60s, around 30% of milk in the United States was delivered to homes. This service was especially convenient before widespread use of refrigeration, as it ensured that families had a steady supply of fresh milk without needing to go to the store frequently. The rise of supermarkets in the 60s and 70s provided a one-stop shop experience, which included purchasing milk. This convenience made regular milk delivery less necessary. Sock hops were a popular social event in the 60s United States. These informal dances were typically held in school gymnasiums, where teenagers would dance in their socks to protect the gym floor. Sock hops emerged in the 40s and 50s and hit their peak in the 60s. They were often sponsored by schools, churches, or community centers as a way to provide safe and fun entertainment for teenagers. These events usually featured live bands or DJs playing rock and roll music. Popular artists at sock hops included Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and the Supremes. The music was a key element, with rock and roll and doo-wop being the preferred genres. Record labels like Motown and artists such as Chuck Berry and Little Richard were staples at these events. Teens wore casual, comfortable clothes. Girls often sported poodle skirts, cardigans, and saddle shoes, while boys wore jeans, leather jackets, and white t-shirts. Dance styles varied from the twist to the mashed potato, influenced by TV shows like American Bandstand. Go-go boots were a fashion sensation in the 60s, becoming a symbol of the decade's youthful and energetic style. Introduced in the mid-60s, these boots were typically white, mid-calf, and featured a low heel. André Courrèges, a French designer, is credited with popularizing the go-go boot in 1964 as part of his futuristic Moon Girls collection. They were named after the go-go dancers who wore them in nightclubs, where they danced in small cages to upbeat music. Several brands and designers jumped on the go-go boot bandwagon. Mary Quant, another influential designer, included them in her collections, further cementing their popularity. Retail stores like Sears and JCPenney began selling affordable versions, making them accessible to the masses. They were featured prominently in movies, TV shows, and music videos. Nancy Sinatra's 1966 hit, "These Boots Are Made for Walkin'," showcased go-go boots and boosted their appeal. Celebrities like Twiggy and Jane Fonda also embraced the trend, influencing fans to follow suit. In the 60s, a new style of bicycle seat called the banana seat became hugely popular in the United States. These long, narrow seats were designed to resemble a banana, hence the name. They allowed for a more comfortable ride, especially for kids who wanted to carry a friend along on their bike adventures. The banana seat trend began with the Schwinn Stingray, introduced in 1963. Schwinn, a leading bicycle manufacturer, saw a rise in sales with this model. The Stingray featured high-rise handlebars and a long seat, making it look similar to a motorcycle. This design appealed to young riders who enjoyed the style and comfort. Companies like Huffy and Sears introduced their own versions of bikes with banana seats. These bikes were often called muscle bikes due to their resemblance to motorcycles. Its length provided more seating space, making it easier to ride with a passenger. The design also added an element of style and flair, which was a significant factor in its popularity. Kids would customize their bikes with accessories like sissy bars and colorful streamers, making each bike unique. In the 60s, the Beatnik culture emerged as a notable countercultural movement in the United States. Beatniks were known for their rejection of conventional society and their embrace of artistic and literary expression. Originating in the 50s, the Beat generation laid the foundation for the Beatnik movement, with figures like Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, and William S. Burroughs leading the charge. The Beats were heavily influenced by literature and poetry. Beatnik fashion was distinctive. Men often wore berets, striped shirts, and black turtlenecks, while women favored black dresses, leotards, and ballet flats. The look was simple, understated, and often accompanied by dark sunglasses. This minimalist style set Beatniks apart from the more flamboyant fashions of mainstream America. Coffee houses became popular gathering spots for Beatniks. These venues offered a space for poetry readings, intellectual discussions, and live jazz performances. Beatniks rejected materialism and the pursuit of wealth. Instead, they focused on personal freedom, spiritual exploration, and the pursuit of authentic experiences. By the late 60s, Beatnik culture began to fade. In the 60s, bell-bottom pants became a defining fashion trend in the United States. Known for their wide flares starting from the knee, these pants were originally worn by sailors in the 19th century. By the 60s, they had made their way into mainstream fashion, becoming a symbol of the counterculture movement. Bell-bottoms first gained popularity in the early 60s among the youth, particularly within the hippie subculture. The pants were seen as a rebellion against the conservative fashion norms of the 50s. They were often made from denim, corduroy, and brightly colored fabrics. Iconic figures such as Jimi Hendrix and Cher were often seen sporting bell-bottoms, further boosting their appeal. Levi's, known for its durable denim, introduced bell-bottom jeans that became a staple in many wardrobes. Wrangler and Lee also offered their versions, often experimenting with different fabrics and patterns. High-end designers like Yves Saint Laurent and André Courrèges incorporated the bell-bottom silhouette into their collections, blending high fashion with everyday wear. In the 60s, Bouffant hairstyles were all the rage in the United States. This iconic hairdo, characterized by its voluminous and high-piled appearance, became a symbol of the era's fashion and culture. The Bouffant's rise to popularity was influenced by various factors, including celebrities, fashion trends, and societal shifts. Celebrities like Jacqueline Kennedy, the First Lady of the United States, and film stars like Brigitte Bardot and Audrey Hepburn were often seen sporting the style. Jackie Kennedy's Bouffant became especially iconic, setting a trend that many women wanted to emulate. Magazines and beauty salons were flooded with requests for the Jackie look. Beauty salons played a crucial role in the maintenance of Bouffant hairstyles. regular trips to the hairdresser were necessary for touch-ups and to ensure the style maintained its shape. Many women even slept with their hair wrapped in scarves to protect their bouffant overnight. Tang, a powdered orange drink mix, became a significant part of American culture in the 60s. Introduced by General Foods in 1959, Tang didn't catch the public's attention until it was linked to the space race. In 1962, NASA chose Tang for John Glenn's Mercury mission, making it the first American drink in space. This association with space missions propelled Tang to household name status. Advertisements featured astronauts and emphasized its role in space exploration, appealing to both children and adults. The catchy slogan, "Tang for Spacemen and Earthmen," further cemented its popularity. Kids enjoyed the novelty of drinking what astronauts drank, and parents appreciated its convenience and vitamin C content. Breakfast tables across the country featured Tang as a quick and easy beverage option. Its bright orange color and sweet taste made it a favorite among children. Schools and summer camps often served Tang, and it became a symbol of modern, space-age convenience. Poodle skirts were a popular fashion item in the United States during the 50s and early 60s. These skirts were typically made of felt and featured a wide swing-style design that allowed for easy movement and dancing. The defining characteristic of a poodle skirt was the applique of a poodle, often with a leash extending up to the waistband. The origin of the poodle skirt dates back to 1947, when Julie Lynn Charlotte, a designer from California, created the first one for a Christmas party. Charlotte had little sewing experience and decided to create a simple, circular skirt that didn't require hemming. The poodle design was added to give the skirt a playful touch. By the early 60s, poodle skirts were widely available in stores across America. Brands like McCall's and Simplicity offered patterns for home sewers, making it easy for anyone to create their own poodle skirt. Retailers such as JCPenney and Sears sold ready-made versions in various colors and designs. In the 60s, the Slinky became a beloved toy in the United States, capturing the imaginations of children and adults alike. The Slinky, a simple yet fascinating helical spring, was invented by Richard James, a naval engineer, in 1943. It wasn't until the 60s that the toy truly became a cultural icon thanks to savvy marketing and its unique charm. The Slinky was first introduced to the public in 1945 at Gimbel's department store in Philadelphia. Richard James and his wife Betty demonstrated the toy by letting it walk down a ramp. The toy's ability to flip, twist, and somersault downstairs made it an instant hit. By the 60s, millions of Slinkies were sold across the country. Its jingle, "It's Slinky, it's Slinky. For fun, it's a wonderful toy. It's Slinky, it's Slinky. It's fun for a girl and a boy," helped to cement Slinky's place in American pop culture. Made from 80 feet of wire coiled into a 5-inch tall spring, it could stretch and reform itself almost magically. Children enjoyed watching it walk downstairs, and its versatility meant it could be used in various playful ways. The toy was inexpensive, costing about $1, making it accessible to many families. In the 60s, punch card computers were at the heart of data processing in the USA. These machines, though primitive by today's standards, were cutting-edge technology at the time. Punch cards, also known as punched cards or perforated cards, were stiff pieces of paper that encoded data through the presence or absence of holes in predefined positions. IBM was the dominant player in the punch card computer market. Their IBM 1401, introduced in 1959, became one of the most popular models. It was known for its reliability and versatility, and many businesses adopted it for tasks such as payroll processing, inventory management, and scientific calculations. The IBM 1401 could read 800 cards per minute, making it a powerhouse for its time. Another significant player was Remington Rand, which produced the UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer. The UNIVAC 1, though initially developed in the 50s, continued to be used into the 60s. It was the first commercial computer produced in the United States and could handle large volumes of data, making it ideal for government and corporate use. NASA used these systems to perform complex calculations for mission planning and execution. For instance, the IBM 7090, an advanced model of the punch card computer, was employed in the Mercury and Apollo programs to process telemetry data and perform orbital calculations. Tie-dye clothing became popular in the United States during the 60s, a time of social change and cultural revolution. The colorful patterns of tie-dye shirts, dresses, and other garments became symbols of the era, representing freedom, individuality, and a break from traditional norms. The tie-dye trend began to rise with the counterculture movement, where young people sought to express their beliefs through fashion. The process of creating tie-dye involved twisting, folding, and tying fabric before applying dye, resulting in unique, vibrant designs. It was an easy and inexpensive way for individuals to create their own clothing, making it accessible to many. In 1965, the rock band The Grateful Dead popularized tie-dye clothing among their fans, who were known as Deadheads. The band's association with tie-dye helped cement its place in the counterculture. Another influential figure was Janis Joplin, a famous singer who often wore tie-dye outfits on stage, further promoting the style. Rit Dye, a company that produced fabric dyes, saw a significant increase in sales during this period. They even released tie-dye kits to cater to the growing demand. Another notable brand was Rainbow Tie-Dye, which specialized in creating custom tie-dye clothing. Introduced by Mattel in 1960, Chatty Cathy was one of the first talking dolls featuring a pull-string mechanism that made her say one of 11 different phrases. This innovation captivated children and parents alike, making the doll a must-have toy of the era. Chatty Cathy was designed by Jack Ryan, a key figure at Mattel, and voiced by June Foray, a renowned voice actress known for her work in animated series. The doll came with various outfits and accessories, encouraging kids to engage in imaginative play. Each pull of the string revealed a new phrase, making the experience interactive and exciting. Before Chatty Cathy, most dolls were silent, relying on their appearance alone to appeal to children. The talking feature set Chatty Cathy apart, making her one of the best-selling dolls of the early 60s. Her popularity even led to a family of Chatty dolls, including Chatty Baby and Tiny Chatty Baby. Mattel's effective marketing strategy played a significant role in the doll's success. Commercials showcasing Chatty Cathy's talking ability aired during children's television programs, directly reaching their target audience. This direct approach, combined with the doll's novelty, ensured high sales and widespread recognition. Green stamps, or S&H. Green stamps were a popular loyalty reward program in the United States during the 60s. Offered by the Sperry and Hutchinson Company, these stamps were given to customers by various retailers, such as grocery stores, gas stations, and department stores, as a bonus for their purchases. Customers would then collect these stamps in booklets and later redeem them for products from a catalog. The green stamps phenomenon began in the 30s, but it truly took off in the post-World War II era. Retailers loved them because they helped attract and retain customers. Consumers enjoyed the sense of getting something extra with their purchases. Major chains like A&P, Safeway, and Texaco were among the many brands that participated in the green stamp program. The catalog featured everything from kitchen appliances to furniture, toys, and even vacations. Families would often save up stamps for months or even years to get something special, making it a communal activity. It was not uncommon for families to have a dedicated spot in their homes for storing stamp booklets and catalogs. The success of green stamps led to the creation of similar programs by other companies. For instance, gold bond stamps and blue chip stamps emerged as competitors, each with its own unique offerings and catalogs. Despite the competition, S&H green stamps remained the most popular and recognizable loyalty program of the time. In the 60s, rock and roll 45s were at the heart of American youth culture. These small 7-inch records spun at 45 revolutions per minute, RPM, and became the medium of choice for delivering the latest hits. Unlike LPs, long-playing records, which were used for full albums, 45S typically featured a hit single on the A-side and a less prominent track on the B-side. This format dominated the music industry, shaping the sounds and trends of the decade. Major record labels like RCA Victor, Capitol, Atlantic, and Motown played pivotal roles in the production and distribution of 45S. RCA Victor, for instance, was instrumental in popularizing the format after introducing the first 45 revolutions per minute record in 1949. By the 60s, RCA, along with other labels, was producing millions of 45S each year. Motown Records, founded by Berry Gordy in 1959, was particularly influential. Motown's 45S brought soul and pop music to mainstream America, producing hits from artists like The Supremes, Marvin Gaye, and The Temptations. Their catchy melodies and polished production values made these records staples on jukeboxes and radio stations nationwide. Paper dolls were a popular pastime for children in the 60s USA. They were simple, affordable, and offered endless hours of imaginative play. Paper dolls are essentially flat, printed figures that could be cut out and dressed in various outfits. The outfits often came with foldable tabs to keep them in place on the dolls. One of the most notable was McCall's magazine, which featured Betsy McCall paper dolls in each issue. Betsy McCall became a household name, with children eagerly awaiting the next edition to add new outfits to their collection. Whitman Publishing was another major player, offering a wide range of paper doll books featuring characters from TV shows, movies, and fairy tales. Marilyn Monroe, Elizabeth Taylor, and Jackie Kennedy were among the famous figures immortalized in paper form. These dolls allowed children to emulate their favorite stars and imagine glamorous lifestyles. They helped children develop fine motor skills through cutting and dressing the dolls. Moreover, they encouraged creativity and storytelling, as kids would often create elaborate narratives for their paper characters. In the 60s, Duncan Yo-Yos were all the rage in the United States. Duncan, a brand founded by Donald F. Duncan Sr., became synonymous with yo-yos. The yo-yo itself, a toy with a history dating back to ancient Greece, found its modern form and popularity in America, largely thanks to Duncan's efforts. Donald Duncan purchased a small yo-yo company in 1929 and rebranded it. By the 60s, Duncan yo-yos were not just toys, they were a cultural phenomenon. Kids across America were captivated by the challenge and skill required to master tricks like Walk the Dog and Around the World. Duncan capitalized on this craze by sponsoring competitions and demonstrations, turning yo-yo playing into a competitive sport. One of the most iconic Duncan yo-yos from this era was the Duncan Butterfly, introduced in 1958. Its wide shape made it easier for beginners to catch the yo-yo on the string, and it quickly became a favorite. Another popular model was the Duncan Imperial, known for its classic design and smooth performance. Bakelite Jewelry was all the rage in the USA during the 60s. This unique, colorful plastic took the fashion world by storm. Bakelite, invented by Belgian chemist Leo Baekeland in 1907, was the first synthetic plastic. Bakelite jewelry became popular among fashion-forward individuals looking for bold, statement pieces. This era was marked by a love for bold, bright accessories, and Bakelite fit right in. Necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and brooches made from Bakelite were highly sought after. The jewelry was known for its rich, deep colors and ability to be molded into various shapes and designs. Brands like Coro, Trifari, and Monet were at the forefront of producing Bakelite jewelry. These brands were known for their high-quality craftsmanship and innovative designs. Coro, for instance, was famous for its large, chunky Bakelite bangles that came in an array of colors and patterns. Trifari's Bakelite pieces often featured intricate carvings and inlays, making them highly desirable. Actress Lucille Ball was known for her love of Bakelite jewelry, often seen wearing bold Bakelite pieces on her hit TV show, I Love Lucy. This exposure helped cement Bakelite's status as a fashionable choice. In the 60s, one of the most iconic toys in America was the Super Ball. Invented by chemist Norman Stingley in 1964, the Super Ball was made from a synthetic rubber called Zectron. This material gave the ball an incredible ability to bounce, often reaching heights up to 6 times the height from which it was dropped. Wham-O, the company famous for products like the hula hoop and the frisbee, quickly saw the potential and started mass-producing the Super Ball. Its bouncy nature and simple design captivated children and adults alike. Wham-O's clever marketing strategies, including TV commercials and catchy jingles, helped boost its popularity. Companies like Parker Brothers and Milton Bradley released their versions, but none could quite match the original's performance. The Super Ball's popularity peaked in the mid-60s, becoming a symbol of American pop culture. It was not just a toy. It appeared in various TV shows, movies, and even in science experiments demonstrating physics principles. If you enjoyed this journey back in time and want to see more content like this, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And what was your favorite item from our list? Did we miss something that you think should have been included? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your stories and memories. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, drop them in the comments too. Your ideas might just inspire our next video.